We are recording. This is the Saturday show at Akrotiri. We've made some adjustment for the wins so that they're correct. I'll probably be posting something in the forums about that soon. But our wins should be correct according to the METAR that is in the description of this video. So with that in mind, let's get to the briefing. It's going to be another flight at Akrotiri. It's going to be right out of the Chalks onto Whiskey, right on Yankee. Hold short runway 28 for, then we'll do takeoff checks, and then we'll line up and wait 28, and then we'll run it up for the section takeoff maneuvers. It's going to be the show as, high show as standard, based upon the weather that you sent. Followed by a right turnout from the Delta breakout for the left pitch of brake to land runway 08. So it'd be 26. Runway 26 is what we're holding short of earlier.
Got it.
Yeah. I don't have any other briefing items. Just a reminder about the 10-second rule. I'm going to continue I have a goal for the show, which I'll get to after. Let me know if you have any comments for other stuff.
No, we're going to stick with 150 for the loop by cross. I think that's doable. I just didn't do it last time.
Okay. 250 for 200 for the vertical pitch again.
200 for the vertical pitch. Got it.
All right. My goal for the show is to try and get all the maneuver names in within the 10 seconds, and then obviously fly clean and safe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My goal for the show is to be within better turn-ins. I don't want to be working an angle as much as I was last couple times.
All right. Anything else?
No, quick weather brief though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so winds are 270 at 10 knots, which means we got a headwind on takeoff and in the high alpha. 6 mile visibility, clouds view at 5,000. Altimeter 29888.
Ooh. Spicy.
And no remarks. Yeah, so it's low barometric pressure, so be a little
thicker, right?
Yep. No, it should be thinner.
Thinner air.
Yeah, because the pressure is lower.
Oh yeah, the pressure is lower. Yep. Okay.
Meaning, so it'll be thinner air, meaning the less performance or less
thrust, less
control authority.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
In theory.
That's a pretty drastic change from a couple of from last week when I was flying 30.11. So.
Yeah.
That's a big swing. This will be interesting.
I mean, I don't know what the density altitude is going to be, but
yeah. Well, it shouldn't be too. I mean, the density altitude should be the same as it usually is. But.
Well, right. But I mean, like.
Compared to 2992. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Compared to standard, it'll be interesting down here at the low end. But anyway, anything else before we get started?
Negative. Nope.
All right. Radar break. Switch inputs.
Same.
BrotherLeb, you got me?
Leave me, Charlie. Got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Good.
Whew, baby. All right. Let's get ourselves into the sim here. Close that down. Can you talk for me again? Okay, I got you. I've got me. I've got us both on stream. Disable the preview. Minimize the window. And get ready to fly.
I did add a little bit of sharpening, so I'll be interested to see how that affects things.
From 067 to something else?
No, I did sharpening in the DCS menu actually.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
0.3 is what I had. Well, I didn't have any before. So we'll see.
Okay. Hold on, my throttle was way too close. Okay, that's way better. Alright, let me know when you're... Well, actually, you unpause it, so I'm ready for unpause whenever you are.
Alright, ready for unpause in 3, 2, 1. Unpausing now. Man, I'm firing up my headset. I hate this.
Is it warm up there?
No, I was just doing the dishes and kind of rushing around trying to get ready, and I got sweaty, and my eyebrows are sweaty, so there's just condensation in here.
Fun stuff. Alrighty. Advise when ready for startup.
Ready.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy.
Go for canopy.
3, 2, 1, mark. Standby engine crank.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby engine forward.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine crank.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine forward.
Leb.
Roll left, roll left.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby FCS.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Go for FCS.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
Leb same.
They changed the color of the bottom thing.
Oh yeah, it's
So-
like minter.
Be ready for other unannounced changes. Chariot's FCS's go.
Leb FCS. Go.
What are you doing? You did 5 knots in the mission editor, right?
Affirm.
Alright. I'll trust it. That's really weird how minty that is. Chariot's IFA is holding DTC.
Leb's going DTC. You know, with DLSS and the quad views, this actually looks like I hoped it would in VR.
Yep. Chariot's
DTC
DTC complete. Chariot's up to come on.
Leb up tree, come on.
Discord check.
Good check.
Takeoff checks.
Leb.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading tree 0 tree. Check your altimeter set 2980. For a corrected start point elevation of 0 feet. Check roaring 0. Check your FCS 12 30 33 down 2. Check your fuel. Seat arm lights out.
Leb.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good smell. Good afternoon, Lab. Updated winds are 270 for 5 knots. Check altimeter set 2988 for a corrected center point elevation of corrected altimeter of 2980 for a center point elevation of 0 feet and a density altitude of 100 feet above sea level. Cherry Squawk 1205, Love Squawk 1206, cleared to taxi right out of Chalks, right on Whiskey, right Yankee, hold short 26.
Thanks, Lab. Cleared to taxi, hold short 26. Double checking winds. Is it 270 for 5?
METAR reads, 270 for 10, sorry. Yeah, METAR is 10, 5 in mission note.
Copy that. Updated winds are 270 for 10. Solos were cleared to taxi. Check your parker brakes off. Chair sprang up to 75%. Off brakes down. Coming right, go, clear.
Up.
Chariots ease the power to 70 and land and roll. Solo switching 8, column 1. Chariots up 8, column 1.
Lab up, come on.
Coming right, go on abreast.
Lab.
Chariots ease the power to 68. Coming easy left. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes. Takeoff checks.
What?
Check your smoke pressure off. Check your smoke pressure on. Check your lights are off. Check your landlines off. Check your flaps are half, mine are auto. Check your waypoint is correct in the box, showing waypoint 1 at 0.7 miles. Check your altimeter set to barrow and set to 2980. Check your message bypass in your seer's arm. Check your heading, my heading 046.
What?
Check your parker brakes off. Chair sprang up to 70. Off brakes now. BrotherLeb detach.
Let's do easy left.
Coming left. Okay. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes.
I did everything I could.
Solos were clear for takeoff. Check your parker brakes off. Maneuver our section takeoff maneuver.
Lab.
Updated winds are 270 for 10. That's a headwind. Check your parker brakes off. Let's roll up.
Brakes off now. Blowers ready now. Blowers ready now.
See ya.
Ready, hit it.
Sure, sir.
Who's over smoke on? Blowers ready now. Smoke off. Clear.
Chair 1.5.
Let's clear 1.
HUD's paler too.
Yeah, all that. Three miles, mark. 4 miles, mark.
Let me know your beam.
The beam.
Let me know your take a mark.
I dig it.
Stand by, mark it. 46.
Flip. Ten seconds, mark. 3-8. Three miles, mark. 400.
Chariot's in for the right knife edge.
Hold in right of it. 2 miles, mark 4.
Swung on.
Got it.
Swung off. Ready, hit it.
Roll right.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Roll. Trace clear and clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted to inverted rolls. 1.8 mark.
Match. Get some stutters, I'm nervous. 3.5 mark. 4 miles.
Let me know your beam.
I mean,
Let me know your take a mark.
dig it.
Stand by, mark it. For 17.
Up.
Early again.
10 seconds, mark. 0.2 ahead. 320.
What?
2.7 mark. 380.
Jeez, dude, you're killing me.
2 miles, mark. 395.
Ready, hit it. Swung on.
Roll right. Roll right.
Contact looking good.
Roll right. Roll right.
A little drive. Ready, hit it.
Roll right.
Stand by, roll. And pull. 196. Stand by, roll. Trace clear and clear behind the crowd for the Fortis coming left. Hook's coming down.
Contact.
370, ease of power. 350s until full, rolling out some bank. 340. Ease and lots of power. 330, rolling out. Souls upon the crowd, setting up the Fortis. Trickling lights on.
Left, to
Chariot, 310. Adding power to hold 300. Coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the gear. Adding power. Adding more power. Power set. We're at the 90 for the Forest. Going off the hook upwards up.
Let's get our hook down. Flat support.
A little pull. Ease in the pull. Rolling out the Fortis outboard. 3 miles. Ease on a little power. 2 miles. Mark Church rolling in.
Clear.
Little outboard. High. Center point. Trace pushing out. Rolling out.
Clear.
Coming back left. Set. Stand by the gear. Hook. BrotherLeb, knock it off.
Clear.
Seriously, I'm clearing behind the crowd for the MRT State 9-1.
Upstate 8-7. Correction 8.
Party.
Yeah.
Chariot circling 5 miles for the MRT. And Chariot's turning in 5 miles for the MRT. Four miles, mark 353. Three miles, mark 352. Two miles, mark 353. 1.5 miles MRT. 1 mile, mark 350. Burners now. Ready, hit it. Good entry, a little outboard.
Flight controlled. Flight controlled.
Ease in the pull, comes the pull. Pulling. Kicking. Chariot's pushing out. Leveling out. 1100. Coming right. Comes the pull.
Contact.
Ease the pull. Roll out. Smoke on. Smoke off. Easing a little power, coming a little right. 290. 310. 320. Souls on the crowd, setting up the opposing MRT.
Gotcha, Jared.
Chariot. Coming right. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Look, we're 016. Ease of the ball. Roll it out. The opposing MRT online. A little pull. Ease the pull to level. Easing a little power. Smoke on lovely.
Hold on. Power set. Wheel drive.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Match.
A little fast.
A little slow. Numbers.
Numbers.
Contact.
Link go for standby lab.
Lab.
Center point. Merge. Stand by roll. Hold a 40. Stand by roll. Roll. Oh.
Clear.
Roll. Cherry clear. And clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing horizontal rolls. 2.5 mark.
2.4.
Feels like it's coming at me faster today.
Yeah. 3.4 miles.
Living on your beam.
I mean,
Living on your take a mark.
take it.
Stand by, mark it. 21.
21. Ten seconds. Mark. 4 miles.
Trace in for the left for horizontals.
Flips in left horizontal. 3 miles, mark. Two miles, mark 406.
SOCON?
Correct.
Correct. A little pull. Ready, hit it.
Roll left, roll left.
Burners. Pull. Stand by, roll. Burners. Pull. Ease of the pull. Rolling out 7-4.
78.
Chariots coming right. And circling behind the crowd for the Stink 2 vertical roll. State 7-4.
11 state, 75. That was my bad. I was too fast on the way in. With the tailwind.
No worries, I'm failing my goal pretty epically. Chariot circling 5 miles for Stink 2 vertical rolls. And Chariots turning in 5 miles, Stink 2 vertical rolls on the runway. Four miles, 4.75.
On time.
3 miles, 1.84. 2 miles, 1.88.
Pull up, pull up.
1 mile, 0.91, full burn.
Smoke back.
Charge 397.
Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll. Down
Nice.
the clouds, no fact.
Clouds no factor, Airshow clears. Chart circling 3.5 for the solo loop.
I'm still alive.
Yay! Chart turning in 3.5 solo loop.
Let's clear 12.
Chariot. Roll it out. Wings level, smoke on. Up. We go. A little more pull. Adding power. Adding more power. Vertical 6-0, easing power, easing more power a little, ease. Comes the pull. A little more pull. There's those stutters you talked about. Ease the pull, adding power. Go, Diamond Singer. Smoke off. Church dash. Church dash, boss. Lebanon air beam.
Beam.
Lebanon air, take a mark.
Take it.
Stand by, market. 17, sorry.
70. Ten seconds. Mark. Point 2 ahead. Slow.
Church in for the right 4 point.
To the right 4 point. 3 miles, mark 385.
Damn
2
it.
miles, mark 402.
Smoke on.
Contact.
Smoke off. Ready, hit it. 1, 2,
Go right, go right.
3, 4. Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Roll. Chair's clear. And clearing in front of the crowd for the opposing vertical pitch. 2 miles mark.
Matt. Harrison. Four miles.
Let me know on your beam.
A beam.
Let me know your ticket mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it. 4-9.
4-9.
Chair's in for the left vertical pitch.
Left in, left vertical. 10 seconds, mark point 1 ahead, slope. Three miles, mark 390. Two miles, mark 403.
Smoke on.
Contact.
Connect. Add it up. Ready, hit it. 2 right.
Occur.
60. Stand by, Earl, and pull. Power's idle. 45, 40, 35, 30. Horizon. Now 80.
85.
A little more pull.
Contact 1000.
Contact adding power. 1.5, mark 410.
0.3 behind.
Brakes are in. 1 mile, mark 440.
Basically on time.
Half mile, mark 400. A little pull. Ready, hit it.
Go right, go right.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Easy pull. Roll out. Chair's clear, and clear behind the crowd for the inverted tug over roll. Contact.
Come left, 355. 360, ease little power. Oh, not a little bag, 355. There's 350. Ease the ball and rolling out. 354.
You got 2 lub.
Left, we're a little close. Someone's behind the crowd setting up the inverted roll.
Sure, do what you need.
We're coming right. Coming further. Right comes the pull. A little more. Pull. Sold to 90 for the inverted roll.
Sure it.
That was English, I know it. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. Adding power. And up we go. Ready. A little more.
Smoke on. Looking good.
Power set. A little drive. Ready. Clear.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
Inside.
Contact.
Easable and rolling out. 345 coming left. 350. 360. 65. 370. Easing power, 375. Easing more power. Easing the pull. Rolling out, 380.
You got 2 left.
11. So behind the crowd's heading up the section, high alpha. Rolling through. And rolling out. Still close. Easing power. Coming left. Coming further left. Easing power. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Stand by the boards. A little more. Pull. Rolling out a little bank. Sold to the 90 for the section high alpha.
That's right.
Easing some pull. Easing more pull. Rolling out more back. Rolling out. Little bend board outboard. Stand by the boards. Board. Easing power 190. Little pull. 180. Easing more power. 175. 170. 160. 150. Little pull. 140. 130. Pull. Another set. Adding power and setting it. A little more power. Little left to right. Smoke on. Little power.
Center point. Wave it off.
$60 coming left.
Chariot's braking left 270.
Contact.
300, ease the power. 315. 325, ease and some pull. Rolling out some bank. Ease and power. 340. Ease and more pull. 345, ease and more power. 350, ease and power to hold 350. Ease and the pull. Rolling out. Souls on the ground, setting up the wander.
Yeah, two.
Chariot, adding a little power. $360. We're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull, a little more pull. Or left-hand turn for the wander.
Left.
A little more pull. A little more pull. Ease of the pull. Rolling out. The Wander. Easing lots of power. We're really high. 2 miles. Mark spoke on. 1.5 mark. Late. 1 mile mark. A little pull. 2 level. Half mile mark. Ready. Hit it. Smoke off. Stand by. Roll. And pull.
Cut it.
Easable. Roll out. Easing power. 365.
Contact.
A little pull. Adding a little power. Ease of the pull. Adding a little power. 350. Delta behind the crowd. Send up the Delta roll chariot 45.
Left 47, you got 6 miles.
Boss. We're coming back left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. A little more pull. Rolling out a little bank. We're at the 90 for the Delta roll.
But
Coming further left. Easing the pull. Rolling out. The Delta roll. Smoke on. Up. We go a little more pull. A little more pull. Okay. Rolling out comes the pull. Ease in the pull to level. Coming back left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull, adding power. We're in left-hand turn for the 30. Smoke off. Ease in the pull. Roll it out. The fleur-de-lis. Up. We go a little more pull. Smoke on. Ready to break.
Ready.
Smoke off. Stand by. Roll. And pull. Gotta.
Stand by. Roll.
Chair's low. Coming right. Across your nose now, 480.
Contact.
Easing lots of power. 475. 460. 455 coming for the right. Comes the pull, adding power. 450.
We got you.
Chariot. Smoke on. Ease in the pull. Roll it out. Up. We go a little more pull. Okay. Set. Okay. Set. Smoke off. Go get him.
Clear. 075 at 2,420 easing power.
Connect.
.407. 400 coming right. Coming further right. Comes the pole. A little more. Pole. 400. A little further right. 380 adding power.
You got some glass.
Boss ease and pull, rolling out some bank. Rolling out more bank. Set. Coming right. Little pull, adding power. And we're rolling out the loop brick cross.
Chariot.
Power up we go. A little more. Pull. Even more. Pull. Set. Vertical 5-6. Easing a little pull. Comes the pull. Ready, break, 0.4 left. 0.4 right.
Pull up, pull up,
Smoke.
pull up, pull up.
0.5, Mark 450, easy. 1 mile, Mark 430. 1.5, Mark 420. 2 miles, Mark 410. 2.5, Mark 4. We're on. 3 miles, Mark up we go. 4G, Mark. Vertical 4-3. 8 Alpha. Horizon now 7-5 easing power. 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. Roll it. Hair steep. Comes the pole 2.7. 2 miles. Mark 406. 1.5 Mark 400 bus forward, or 150.
Chariot 300.
1 mile Mark 402. 0.5 Mark 400. Smoked. Up. Clear.
Chariot there.
Coming left. 390. $375.
Connect.
365. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. 360. Easing power. 360. Little pull. 355. Adding a little power. 350. We're coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pole. A little more. Pole.
You got 6 miles.
Bar. Delta's in a left-hand turn for the Delta breakout. Right turn up.
Chariot.
little further left, easing power. Comes the pull. Easing the pull. Rolling out, easing power. Easing more power. Rolling through just a touch, easing power. Smoke on. Roll set. And we're rolling out. 3 right. Little pull. Ready. Set. Smoke. Quick.
Chariot clear 184, 250, 1700.
Got it.
$280. Coming right. Comes the pull. 310 ease and power. 320. 330. 340. Ease and power. 350. Delta's in a right-hand turn for the Delta left, Pittsburgh land.
You got 6 boss.
Boss. Smoke on. Easing a little pull. Coming further right. A little more pull. Easing the pull and rolling out. We're at the numbers for the left, Pittsburgh land. We're 20 fast.
Take it in.
Center right. Ready. Hit it.
Let's go.
That's what I meant. Easable. Rolling out 3, 2, 1.
Number 1, 3, 2, 1.
Smoke off. Fat angle.
Yep.
Chariot's coming left. Gear and flaps. Chariot's gear down, flap down, hook up.
Let's get down, flap down, hook up, board up.
280. 260 leb.
Left.
240 leb. Chariot's at the 90. Check on him. 3 in the green. Stagger is left.
3 degrees, stagger left.
Winds 260 for 10. That's a headwind. 210 leb.
Up.
200. 180. 160 idle. 140 all the way, leb.
That's 180, working on it. 160. 140 all the way.
Jessica.
That's okay. Okay, Chariot.
Chariot. Landing checks. Check your smoke pressure off. Check your tabs. Check your flaps auto. Check your landlines off. Reset your trim and save for seats. We'll go well clear on, on Yankee for sorry, we'll go well clear on the left turn to parking for individual right 45 cent shocks. Check your brake brakes off. Chair's sprung up to 75% off. Brakes now. Chariot's coming right. Give me to on the right wing. Ease and power to 70. Ease power to 60. Land and roll. Nice flight, Leb.
Nice flight, Chariot.
Rolling out. Coming left, go clear.
Leb is clear.
Rolling through. Ease on the roll. All little brakes. Easy brakes. Off brakes now. Coming back right. Coming right for parking. Okay. 303. Little brakes. Easy brakes. Little brakes. Brakes! Stand by canopy and engines.
Leb.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. That's a show.
That is indeed.
Cheers coming out from under the hood. BrotherLeb, you got me? BrotherLeb, you got me?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Sorry, read you loud and clear, yes.
Ah, sweet.
I had not switched inputs yet.
Well, that was... I was behind the show the whole time.
It's okay. Everybody has off nights.
Tonight was mine, apparently. Which is weird. I don't know. Guess I just didn't get in the zone.
Auto zone.
At least we got a show without an interruption tonight.
Mm-hmm. That was nice. For sure. Right. Go.
Client show real XP. Alright. Just get our jets to the runway here. Alright.
That's kind of cool.
What?
I can do real terrain, and it actually like looks decent.
Oh, you have a new TAC view?
I guess. Yeah.
Where do you get that? Terrain downloader?
No, it was under setting, or yeah, the wrench and stuff.
Okay.
And there's terrain. and then it has ARMA, DCS World Enemy Engaged, Comanche,
Yeah.
whatever else.
Uh
And I just did real terrain at the bottom.
My real terrain is just water.
Oh, interesting. Huh. I think I got a like fancy pants license of TACView on a like group sale through one of the Discords at one point. Like,
well, that's
years
probably
ago.
it. That's probably it. All right. Let's debrief. That was a show at Akrotiri. No major safeties on my end.
Yeah, no major safeties that I can remember on my end.
All right. In which case, let's dive into the debrief.
Do it.
There we go. Yeah. Taxi was fine. No issues there.
Yeah, taxi good on my end as well.
Section takeoff maneuvers, dirty roll on takeoff. I pulled up a little bit too much, so I was high for the maneuver, higher than I usually am. The rest of the maneuver was fine. The lower density altitude made it, or the higher, the lower pressure made it more challenging to do the maneuver. But it was, I adjusted and it was fine. So give myself a B.
Yeah, my initial takeoff maneuver was pretty solid. I corrected a couple of things from the last time with getting off heading and dropping too much altitude. So, yeah, B.
Nice. That takes us to the opposing knife edge. This is the beginning of my woes. I just was really bad at my inbounds today. I was all over the place. So we hit like miles right on this. The maneuver itself was fine, and the clears are fine. But my horizontal spacing was trash. So I'm gonna give myself an F.
Yeah. I was a little early on the inbound on the 10-second call. I hadn't quite got that like new feel and timing figured out yet. And the rest of the inbounds are pretty good for this one. My actual maneuver was pretty good, and the clears were good, so I give myself a B.
Cool. Next up is the inverted to inverted. Yet again, another issue with inbounds on this one, and I still wasn't calling them. In fact, this maneuver never got called. So that is a major safety. So that's an F. So I mean, I performed the maneuver well, but it doesn't matter.
One of my goals was to not overshoot and give myself too many angles, and I didn't quite do it on this one, so that wasn't good. And then knowing that you were like not calling the maneuver, and that was one of your things, I was kind of like in my own head. So there were just my speeds were a little all over the place on the inbounds. The actual maneuver was pretty decent, kind of scooped into it, which wasn't ideal, so I was a little nose high for the second roll. So I give myself a C- for this.
All right. The Fortis. Turn for this one came a little quick. Yeah, they just like we were coming around the corner a little bit slower than I anticipated, so it required a lot of pull, and we were still outboard. But the roll-in for the maneuver was okay, but we ended up drifting even further outboard. But I was able to maintain a decent altitude and a stable platform. Push out was fine, roll out was fine, roll to the left was fine, gear and flaps were fine, and timing on the split I believe was good too. I'd give myself a B-.
My rejoin behind crowd was slow. I just didn't move to intercept early enough, so I was pretty behind you. But I got in time. Coming around the corner, I was a little shaky, and I couldn't quite figure out where the crowd was, and so I don't think I hid the jet very well. Well, it was okay. I was trying to figure out, like, I bet he's going to drop altitude, and I'm going to have to come down after him again. So I was a little nose down when you were rolling in, just kind of eased it down to see if I could meet you. But you didn't drop as much altitude this time. But you were also pretty wide, and I just had trouble working it into any kind of decent position over the course of the maneuver, so I don't feel like I did that well. So it probably just won't look great. Okay. Clears were okay. C.
Alright, that takes us on to the MRT. This was good. Yeah, a little bit upward on entry, but the maneuver went well. Plenty of angles, plenty of nose up, plenty of turbo nose low. The turn behind the crowd, however, was a little tight, so that led to the opposing minimum radius turn. That bled onto the opposing minimum radius turn being a little bit tight as well. But all that being said, give myself a B.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could see you, and finding you the ground clutter was really difficult, even with the additional sharpening. Sharpening did help to spot you, but not so much for this maneuver. I was able to kind of get a better idea where you were in the turn around the corner visually, so I was more or less in the right place at the right time for the rejoin. And then I think I was just carrying a little too much speed and a little too much outboard angle, so I was just pretty wide. But I was able to work it in before you came right for the RRT, so overall, I'll give myself a B for that.
Nice. OMRT, because of what I'd given us as far as angle in that turn, that meant that we had to make this turn behind crowd quite tight. So add an extra 0.2 G to it, and it ended up working out. We were on. Had to do a lot of adjustments to get us stable level, wings level, and straight and everything by the time I did the handoff, but you were in a decent position. I think I handled the drop back better this time, and I think the rolls were more on time, but I definitely didn't finish rolling before I pulled, so I was majorly dipped down in the turn. Even I wasn't hunting for you or anything, I just didn't end up completing the roll. A little faster on the corner, and then got onto numbers, and then just was a little above, like 2 knots high. Coming around the rest of the corner. We ended up hitting about 4 or 5 right. And then my clear was absolute disaster. So I'll give myself a C for that one.
Yeah. Flying the rollout behind crowd, you slowed down your roll rate at the end of it that I just did not read, so that threw me off a little bit. But I was able to get into position by the time you gave me the handoff. Settled the speed. The hit and the turn were pretty good on speed. We were able to get. I was a little high, so I climbed a little bit, and you went down a little bit, so that's probably not going to look great. But yeah, I was on profile, which felt good. I did not account for the fact that the wind was going to push me further down range, and then it was going to keep pushing. I was going to continue to have a headwind coming towards center point, so I didn't add up enough power. Because usually I have too much coming to center point, and I'm going too fast. But I needed more than I had, so that's I think why we hit as far left or right as we did. So clears were fine. Overall, B minus.
Alright. Opposing horizontal rolls. I was doing a lot of things to fix inbounds again on this one and didn't make it. But the maneuver itself was fine. Still probably a C minus.
I don't honestly remember the inbounds for this. The tack view looks pretty good for angles. I feel like we hit pretty far right, so that's probably either I just wasn't speed well or the headwind was a factor. The actual hit and maneuver was fine. Boy, miss.
What was that last
B
bit?
minus.
Oh, okay.
B minus. Yeah.
Alright, that takes us to the sneak 2 vertical rolls. Yeah, sneak pass was good.
Pause for a sec. I think we used the same visual reference because we both rolled way past the 90-degree behind crowd point, but we're pointed at the exact same angle, so that's good. We're just 45 degrees to the right. Anyway, moving on.
Alright, sneak 2 vertical rolls. Yeah, this was a really good maneuver for me. I have a got no notes on this. I'll give it an A.
Yeah, I was on time. Roll over the top was good. The only problem is that I pulled basically crowd right instead of. It wasn't quite a 90, but it was pretty close, which is not what I want to do. So yeah, B.
Line arrest slip was good. Fairly measured. I gave myself a little bit more of a down. Didn't pull quite as much initially on the downhill. So I gave myself a little bit more time to level it off and fly in front of a crowd. That felt good. That moves to the opposing 4-point. Yeah, the opposing 4-point. I was trying to fix inbounds. It was just like I was not reading what you were saying very well, and so I was in the box way early. And so we hit very, 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 very right. And we were inverted for a long time. So I'll give myself a C- on this one. My maneuver itself was okay. The third knife edge was not great. It was past the knife edge. The clears were fine. So yeah, C-.
This is a pretty solid maneuver for me. I think my inbounds just in general, I wasn't getting up to 400 fast enough because I'm usually slow getting to the 10-second 4-mile mark. And so I'm just not bringing enough power to get to 400 for the next point. So I think that affected this maneuver a little bit. The actual maneuver inside the box was good, even though we were inverted for a while. I was able to read it, and all of my hits were pretty on. B-.
All right. Vertical pitch. Yeah, I was making some adjustments once again on horizontal spacing coming in, but I made those actually pretty well. And so we ended up hitting only 2 rights. We had a big speed delta when we went over the top, which is very interesting. Yeah, you're like 0.1 of a Mach higher than me, which is why we were carrying so much speed, but we ended up making that work on the inbounds, and I think we hit more or less on center point. So, not great, not awful. I'll give myself a B.
I think the speed delta is almost entirely related to the wind. Not entirely, but like a large portion of it seems like it was related to the wind. I was a little fast in the 3-mile mark, but I got it back down by the 2 and the 1. Pull up was fine. Over the top was fine. I think I must have pulled more. Yeah, I definitely pulled more looking at the TAC view, which is weird. I almost never pull more than you do. I was higher than you, but yeah, I was over the top quicker. But I was also, just because of the wind, pushing downrange. So I had to bring I should have basically brought in more pull instead of bringing in more power. But I brought in more power and a little more pull, and then I was able to get back close-ish to center point by the time we hit for the second hit. But I was like 500 some odd knots. So it's just yeah. I'd give myself a C for that maneuver.
Inverted tuck overall.
Right, inverted tuck overall. We were in close, but you said do what you need, so I did. Little scoop into it, inverted, just a little bit of that over rotation you can see on the TAC view there, which seems to be an endemic problem, so I'll just have to go woodshed that. Yeah, maneuver inside the box, roll to 45 was solid, clears were pretty good. This one was pretty solid though, so I'll give myself a B- because of that bobble, and but the rest of it was pretty okay. Definitely room for improvement though.
Yeah, this is probably the best I've done of this ever. But I was still underneath you. But I think I was in plane, so I'll be very interested to see how this looks from the crowd. But all things considered, I think this was by far the best of this maneuver that I've ever done. So, you know, in a box of poop chocolates, every once in a while you get a good one. And this was the good one tonight. There's another good one coming up, but this was definitely a good one. I'll give myself an A- for this.
All right, yeah. Section high alpha, pretty decent setup. Had to roll out really slow because of the kind of more aggressive turn at the beginning, but we were able to more or less get on a heading that I was comfortable with, and I knew we were far enough outboard that we weren't going to crowd violate. Pulled to the set was pretty solid. There was a little bit of jockeying again, like in the first like quarter mile once we were in the high alpha, but then it was pretty steady from there. Clear. I did a thing with the rudder. Like I remembered, I was going to switch which rudder pedal I was kicking, so I'm just curious what that looks like. But overall, B.
Yeah. I flew a really nice profile this time. It was a little bit tough in the turn, and there was a little bit of a. No, that wasn't this maneuver. Yeah. I don't know. I felt like I flew this very well. I got the nose down well as well. So, all things considered, I call this a B.
Ooh. Tack view looks cool. That might be something to do.
We'll see.
The
The Wander.
skiddiness.
Yeah, this one, I think we might have been in close by like 0.1. So it required a little bit of horking to get it online at the 45. But we rolled out and got down to speed. We decreased speed over the course of it. I over-pulled on my pull-up, and then I think I rolled too early. I'm just going to take a real quick gander at that. Yeah, I definitely rolled too early. But my pull was in time with you, so I remembered halfway through that I needed to delay that. All things considered, B minus.
Yeah, I was like, oh right, formation flying, that's a thing. So just sort of getting used to that again around the corner. I rolled out a little higher than you. Usually I'm low, and I don't usually have to fix a high to low, and I usually have to fix a low to high. So that was just weird. I wasn't sure like how much drive to give. It felt uncomfortable. But you said that we were rolling out high, so I was like, this might actually work for the sight picture. But then I could tell as we were doing it, because then you brought in pull and just basically on the way the jet was feeling. I was like, I think he's working it down. So I was trying to also work it down so that I was actually like full line abreast by the time we leveled out, but I didn't manage your pull and my release of drive, and so that was a little wobbly. The actual hit was fine, B minus.
All right, that takes us to the Delta roll. Yeah, the turn behind crowd was good. The rollout was fine. The pull up the hill just took forever, so I didn't give us enough pull. So I ended up rolling us at about 22 degrees, well, like 21 degrees. And that was a very slow roll, but that actually ended up, like, the jet behaved very good throughout that. Just had to bring in a little bit of pull right at the end, and then level out. So, yeah, there's one parameter that just had a knock-on effect on the rest. I give myself a B minus.
Yeah, a little bobble when you went up the hill and match your pull rate, and then I started to fall into you in the last like 30 degrees of the roll, and so I should have adjusted it with wing angle, but I did it with rudder instead, and that didn't quite fix it. So then I slid behind you. But one of the better of these that I've ever done as far as staying in position. So I'll give myself a B plus for that one.
It looks pretty good. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Good job. That takes us to the fleur-de-lis. This was the best fleur-de-lis turn I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
I said we went to the turn, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, he just sat in and I was like, oh man, he's loving life right now.
I was just like watching this turn happen. I'm like, do I need to do something? I'm looking at the flight path marker. I'm looking at the field. Look at the flight path marker. I'm like, no, I think we're gonna be fine. So still a little outboard. But yeah, that was all good. I don't know, dude. I was like high on life, so I think my break and my rolls are going to be good, and so is the roll behind the crowd's going to be timed well. I ended up very low to you, so I was worried you weren't going to be able to see me under my nose, so I was trying to give you a little bit more color. And then I turned it a little bit too sharp, so we were flat behind the crowd, so had to bring in a lot of pull, which meant that the ease of the pull takes forever because you're horking it. And we were pretty low, so I actually kept a touch of pull into it as we rolled out to make sure that I didn't scrape you off on the trees as we went by the boxes. But But yeah, going up the hill was good. The first set came a little fast, but the second set was measured and slow as it should be. So yeah, all things considered, I'd give us a B plus.
Yeah, rejoin was good. Got in a little slower than I said, but I thought based on what I was seeing that I was going to make it in when I said I was going to in, so I just basically misjudged it. Up the hill was grand. Your first set was faster than I was anticipating, so I did not stay with you as comfortably. And then once you like landed the set, there was like a whoa, trying to like settle it. And then I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. So I was like more ready for the second half of it, but I still kind of screwed up the second set. It was just like not quite smooth. I was fiddling with like rudder and drive, and it just didn't quite work out. There was a little climb, and I was kind of grumpy about that. But overall, B minus. Okay, loop break cross. So this maneuver, I don't know. This recently has not been my favorite maneuver. The setup, I thought we were going to be too close, so I was like bringing in pole and trying to do all this stuff to get there, and then we had all these extra angles when we were getting there. So then I had to do this late stage correction, which I almost never do. I don't like to do them, but I was like, you know what? We had that conversation about fixing things, just getting on profile. So I'm just going to do it. You can live with it. Yeah, so almost got on the numbers by the time we went up the hill. I think I needed to delay that though because of the headwind, and I did not. So we hit like 4 right, and I also bobbled the comms on that. So that was a bummer. And then outbounds were fine. I was carrying a ton of speed, but because I had a headwind, I kind of figured that would be fine. You're thinking about the distances anyway. Bobbled another comm before the up the hill. I was low on the loop, so that was kind of interesting. And then I said 150 and didn't get down there until the last half mile, so almost a safety, but just barely. So C minus overall, not great, but barely passing.
Yeah. So for me, yeah, getting in was fairly easy. And then I was able to fly off you. I was not expecting late stage correction, but I was able to catch it pretty well. Up the hill, I ended up getting wide. Getting wide by about a quarter of a jet up the hill. Not the end of the world, but still, I want to be in plane with you. And then we went a ways past nose down. And so I tried to make it up with some pull to 60 at the bottom end, but I was just too low, so I had to pull out before you called it, and still only leveled out at 500.
Oh, you're right. Huh. That's not what I saw on the ladder, but I must have just read the ladder wrong because I was worried about how far downrange we were. My bad. I didn't even notice that. That's a safety.
Yeah, I was freaking out a little bit as I was pulling out of
that. No, I literally until right now I did not notice that. I thought we were a little shallow on it because, yeah.
Yeah. So I was trying to fix being ahead, fast, and low all the way outbound, and was more or less able to fix it before we went up the hill. I hit vertical and horizon before you did, and 65 before you did. So I was low on the pullout as well, and then I was behind, so I had to have a bunch of power in, and then I think I made the hit work. I was a little late. Yeah, about a quarter second late. That sucks because I had 60 knot overspeed. So frustrating. Okay. Yeah, C minus for me.
The delta breakout. So because of the wind pushing us to the right, I figured, you know what, I'm going to set up a little bit further right, actually, and then bring it back in. So I have time to kind of set that hit up, and it kind of worked. I didn't roll out fast enough, so I had to bring it back right to make the lineup work like it was supposed to. So that's a bummer. My actual roll and pull was pretty consistent, so overall C.
Rejoin was good. I was really solidly in. The back right is really uncomfortable line abreast, but I made it work, and then I over-pulled, I over-G'd the pull at the beginning, so I'm going to be a little high on you. So all things considered, C minus for me. And that takes us to the pitch-up break. This one was weird. I guess I just didn't notice that I wasn't descending enough in the right-hand turn, so we were uber high coming around the 90. So this one just got weird. I had to let out a bunch of pull and come right and then, like, scrape us up, which, like, they do at El Centro, but I don't think I should be aiming for El Centro. So, yeah, we were wicked fast, but I just didn't have the heart to try and fix it because we were already over the numbers. So, I muffed the comms on the pull-up and muffed the angle in front of the crowd, so we were super wide on the turn. So, had to ease the power a lot less than we usually do, but that gave me a lot of time to think about what comms I needed to say, so that was fun. The landing was fine. The taxi back was fine, if a little bit fast. All in all, for the pitch-up break to land through the parking, I would give myself a C minus.
Yeah, rejoin was sick. Formation flying on the inbound was kind of wobbly. I was able to take it in before the hit, and then I felt like I rolled with the punches that you were throwing reasonably well. Landing, taxi, all of that was probably solid, so B minus overall, I'd say.
All right, that's it. Let's watch it. If you can't tell, I'm not stoked about how I flew today.
No, I know.
This was not my best showing. And especially after how well I did yesterday, I'm kind of just frustrated.
Makes sense.
Not yesterday, whenever we flew last.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday at the takeaway home. I feel fine about how I flew. It was definitely an improvement over the way I flew on Sunday, but I don't feel like it was amazing.
Performance felt a little worse.
Yep.
Alright, let's go fly a kite up to where the box is. Alright, what I have done is I have turned off DLSS by using DLAA, and we'll see whether we get ghosting.
Okay. Shouldn't. Well, maybe.
People have mentioned it before, but maybe it'll be acceptable. Because I like the lack of aliasing with DLA. The shadow banding, there's not much we could do about that.
Uh-huh. But yeah, because DLSS is actually an upscaling feature.
Yes.
And a frame generation feature.
Okay, there's a little bit of ghosting, but we'll see how bad it is when we actually take off. It's like I've added motion blur.
Yeah. That might be something to try in 3D too. I don't know.
I don't need to, though. I feel satisfied with DLSS. Like,
I'm getting just a little more ghosting than I'd like on your jet when I'm like rejoining stuff, particularly if it's over ground clutter.
yeah. Yeah, there's still some pretty bad ghosting off the wingtips there. Yeah, and then yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's not, I can't tell so
Hold on, sorry, I forgot to turn the volume down. There it is. Alright. Alrighty.
Yeah, the ghosting doesn't look as bad on your Discord screen share because the resolution is low enough, so it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to tell.
Might be. I think it's also because I'm in 1080p. If I were to be in 4K, it'd probably be the ghosting and stuff would probably be less because it has more data to work with.
Dude, you gotta do 4K. You can now.
Yep. Jeez, so far right. There it is. Oh yeah, so much ghosting.
Nice. That's funny. I don't see the ghosting you're seeing as
I know.
much. Like there's just a little hint of it. Could also be the monitors we're using.
I doubt it, because I don't get ghosting when I use MSA.
Well, I was saying like the difference between the ghosting I'm seeing and the ghosting you're seeing.
Oh. Maybe. Okay, only like 2 right. I'll take it.
I was low. I thought I was low. I've been low the last couple of times. Try to be high next time, see if I can. Watch me overshoot. Whee!
There he is. Oh yeah. The classic didn't turn half a second early enough.
Yeah.
Really is that just.
Mm-hmm. I came all the way to the heading, and I shouldn't have bothered. It just turned into you. You can always go wide.
Mhm.
That's not a problem. That could be fixed.
Yeah, with how far out the center point is, like, you've got to be pretty far up alongside me to hide the jet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I find for the inverted tuckover roll, I don't start worrying about hiding the jet until we're, like, rolling out. Huh, okay. Didn't roll quite enough. That pushed me wide.
Ooh, overshoot. Yep, that sucks. Because we're so far away from crowd, and then I was so far separated from you. It looked really bad.
I can't, so, about the rollout for this, I don't know, like, how to make that more in sync.
I'm trying to do as well as you can based on what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm not watching you. I'm just doing it based on what you're saying.
Alright. I'll think more about
I
that.
don't have a way to... Like, I can't do it visually because that'll be late.
Yeah.
And I can't anticipate you. So...
I'll figure it out.
I could anticipate you if your cadence is consistent every single time.
I'll figure it out. Absolutely.
Dude, you're getting good at that.
Pancake flat, too. Yep. Just didn't quite roll enough.
Ooh, a little high. Okay.
Ugh. So bad. Alright, one right. Watch me tumble! Have to avoid that water tower that's right on the flight line.
You see it coming in?
Yeah, well, not if you don't know it's there.
Nice. I was a little off angle this time. Forgot about that debrief.
Classic replay. We'll skip this. Especially because there's no clouds, so you have no idea what.
Yeah, what's going on?
That's what it's supposed to look like, though.
Good to know my altitude was generally okay.
Yeah.
Good. Clear. Yeah.
Oh, so close. Didn't quite hit the angle. Not quite a knife edge.
Ooh, big butt there.
Hmm?
There's a big nose butt there to hold it at 60.
Yep. On center point, nice.
Dude, 520 knots, baby. I was full idle once I realized we were going to get in the ballpark, so I could actually make the turn and not be too far downrange. You're looking good, sir. Oh, if I hadn't bobbled that, you would have been dead on. Looking really good, sir.
I was a little ahead again. Dang it. It's getting really close.
Yep, it is getting close.
Man, I was waiting like half a second for each of
Really?
those. Yep.
Wow.
I'm like,
Like we're
I'm like,
ready, hit it.
I'm
Roll.
like, stand
Hit
by,
it.
roll, roll, rolling out, coming left, coming left. And it's still
crazy.
too late, too early. I don't know what to do. We're gonna murder me by going 8x. And there's the pull this up. A little left headwind apparently. And we've got
It's 270. We're flying 286, so there's like a, I don't know, like
yeah, it's a
3 knot
left.
crosswind component.
Yeah. I'm getting trails off. I'm getting DLSS trails off the wings. This one just took forever.
Well, yeah, because we're flying into the wind.
Yep. What altitude were we at?
I honestly don't remember.
700.
That's high. Okay. My bad. It's 200 high. Well, 200 higher than the higher end of the parameters. I think I was worried because I'd been low the last time.
Yeah, you were really low last time. Solid.
Yeah. I'm really curious about this clear.
Watch me tumble. Pancake flat.
Very good. I never got that in the 5 shows I did. Never even got close.
That looks pretty good.
You can't see it from the angle we're at, but like in the TAC view, you can see the tail just slide right to left. Because I had initially right rudder and then full left rudder, or whichever rudder. I don't remember actually. It's all feel thing. At this
If you
point.
make it a smidge slower, it might look cool. It might look cooler.
Yeah.
Might look cool. Like it's not cool right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, just a little high.
I'm not a
There
fan
we
of the
go.
ghosting. Just not a fan. Everything looks blurry.
I definitely were getting some weird cockpit shapey things when we were flying. When I was flying form off of you, it would look like get like watery.
Yeah.
Oh gee. It was a little sporty in the jet, but
Yeah.
that was on another level with the replay.
I will say it is way easier to fly form with the amount of data that I have, though.
Mm-hmm. You should really try doing one of these replays in 4K just to see what it looks like.
Oh, for sure. I just keep forgetting. I was gonna say it might be too slow, but I think we're gonna be inverted at the right time. Yep. Alright.
I just got a little behind right there. A little behind, a little sucked, or a little in close. Pretty decent though. Yeah, I smoked off because I was like,
Yeah.
I'm out of position.
I found that when I was doing it, I had to add, because of the because I was going further around the circle, I had to add power, but then like as soon as we reached the rolled out state, had to cut power a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because suddenly you've got all that extra juice.
Yeah, it's a really subtle thing. And I have a tendency, if I don't like the position I'm in, to pull a little power, just because I get nervous. And when I know that I'm, if I'm in a situation where I normally get out of position, then I can counteract that instinct. But
There we go.
Man, I tell you what, though.
What?
Ghost thing aside, looks freaking good.
It looks really clean, yeah. I should try TIA, because I haven't done that before. But no, 4K I think will probably solve the problems. Just gives it more
You
data.
saw it for the video I did.
Well, are you using DLSS?
No,
Yeah.
not for the video. But that's what I'm saying, is like even without all that cool new Hujis, the video looked really good in 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bobble. This will be fun too. Whee!
Looks really cool.
Another bobble. That was not a timing thing, just so you know.
I didn't think so.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. I delayed my rollout on purpose. And late stage correction. Yeah, I did okay accounting for wind in a number of parts of this show, but it didn't even occur to me in this maneuver. Oh, I can see some ghosty trails.
Yep. They're pointed back towards crowd, more or less.
Yep, yep. I think I was probably looking at center point, and I just lost track of the heading tape or the altitude ladder.
That was a really good up the hill
Yeah.
for me, though. Holy smokes. Not that on most of the time. I try to be. I make tons of adjustments as we're going up the hill a lot.
Oh my god, Roger.
How'd we do? Late. Bummer. Just things. Oh, I have one thing that I forgot to mention. When I said to do what you need for the inverted tuckover roll, the next call that came from you is coming right.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I know what you mean, but there's that moment of like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna believe that he means left, because if he goes right, we're dead.
That's embarrassing. Even after 3 years, I still do it. It's the first time that's happened in a while, though. So. No, I take it back. When I was doing the 5 shows, I got flustered a couple times and said it. I was just a little late pulling into you.
Yeah, I saw
So I
that.
didn't park it right on the bearing line.
I saw you
If I
zip
had
by
been,
in my rear view.
A second earlier, I would have been like right on the bearing line. I could have just slid it right in, but
Here's this late correction and just how high we are rolling in for
yeah.
this.
Oh, dude, I stayed in position.
Yeah.
Not too bad, dude. I'll take it.
Yeah, I should try it in 4K with DLSS and see if that Well, with DLA, and see if that feels
Yeah, I'd
better.
be curious.
Look at the lights. They look very different with DLA.
Yeah, they do. Just check the angle I come in on this sucker.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. You're an angle flyer. There he comes. Wow. Yeah, I can see that when it gets into the ground clutter, the jet becomes almost imperceptible against the background. Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you're doing the MRT, it's really hard to see where you are.
Huh. Wonder why that is. Wonder what about DLSS? It just doesn't like the jets over the thing.
Yeah, and I think it's just trying to, like, basically differentiate between different. I mean, like, it doesn't care what's a jet and what's the ground. It's just trying to make the picture and do the math to make the to predict the picture.
Yep. Alright. Let's go fly another kite.
I think I parked a little too far forward when we eventually get there. Oh, I almost smacked wings with you. I happened to look over my shoulder at just the right time to avoid it, but
That's too close. Perfect.
yeah, right on spot. Nice.
Ah, that's right on. Good job.
All right, cool.
Oh, you.
All right, cool. All right, so that gives me a lot of good information because I remember what the first site picture was, and I was like, that was too far back last time, and I moved. So now I know I was right the first time.
All right, that's the show.
Cool stuff.
All right, folks. Yet another practice in the bag. Hopefully, I will perform better next time out. Yeah. Turns out wind is hard, and we never really flew with it before. Like, we have started doing real weather now, and it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll keep
It's
getting
crazy
better.
to think about the kind of winds they fly at El Centro, because it's always windy there.
Yeah, like
And that's
18
for their
gusting
practice when they're, like,
25.
crappy. You know, like, I don't really know how to do this, so now I'm going to go fly in 18 gusting 25. It's insane.
Hey, you know, adversity. It
Yeah.
makes you better. So when you get
Yep.
out there for the calm shows, like, it's the easiest thing ever.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Well, we'll see you for our Sunday show, folks. See ya.
Woohoo!